الله من قلبي وأقصده على دربي، أعدد من فضائله فلا تحصي له كتبي. أحب الله من قلبي وأقصده على دربي، أعدد من فضائله فلا تحصي له كتبي. له أسماؤه الحسنى معانيها بلا ريب، له الآيات شاهدة على حكم له تنبي. له أسماؤه الحسنى معانيها بلا ريب، له الآيات شاهدة على حكم له تنبي، على حكم له تنبي. أدقق في خلائقه فأشهد أنه ربي، فيعلم كل خافية ويسمع نبضة اللب. أدقق في خلائقه فأشهد أنه ربي، فيعلم كل خافية ويسمع نبضة اللب. فأدعوه وأسأله فأشعر أنه جنبي.
ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا، من يهد الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء، واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، إخوتي في الله، فاعلموا أن خير الكلام كلام الله، وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. Inshallah, since the title is related to the parents and the children at the same time, what I would do is I will divide the lecture in two parts. First part, it would be dealing with the parents and how the children should be dealing with their parents. On the second part of the lecture, we're going to flip that. And we're going to talk about how the children and the parents' relationship is from the children's and from the youth point of view. Starting with the parents' side, I'm not going to talk to you today about a lot of ayats that related how we should treat our parents, and that treating your parents is next to worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, and all the ahadith. We may quote one or two ahadith, but it won't be that because you already know that. I mean, I believe that I will not add any more information to your knowledge from this point of view, because from day one you were told how to behave towards your parents, and this is coming from the Quran and Sunnah. But some of the issue that has to be addressed is or are the issue of a child raising his voice above the voice of his parents. See, you guys may think it is a simple thing, but in reality it is a major thing for a child to speak louder than his parents. And if you read the biography of the Salaf, rahimahumullah, you will see how kind and soft they used to be towards their mother or towards their parents. Some other issues, and by the way, I'm going to be a little bit biased here because I am a parent. So I'm going to let you have it from a parent's point of view. And I'll express my feelings, brothers. Bros, I will express my feelings, trust me. The second thing is some of the children, they belittle the status of their parents. And they treat them as though they don't know anything. And the child, mashallah, is a scholar of the century. Some of them, they go as far as kicking their parents out of the house, hitting their parents, neglecting their parents, and all that. And we know the consequence of these things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered us to be grateful to our parents, to respect them, and that's when Allah says in Surah Al-Isra, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. And just for you to know, if you do not know, that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he asked a question. And he said, do you know what is a major sin? أَلَا أُنَبِّئُكُمْ بِأَكْبَرِ الْكَبَائِرِ? Shall I tell you the biggest and the major sins? They said yes. And then he listed, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, al-ishraku billah, that you associate someone with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is one of the biggest sins that anyone commit. Then he said, وَحُقُوقَ الْوَالِدَيْنِ, and you cut off your parents and you be harsh to your parents. Now Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam also informed another hadith, and he said, رَغْمَ أَنْفُ امْرِئٍ ثُمَّ رَغْمَ أَنْفِهِ ثُمَّ, he said that he may be humble in the sight of Allah, may be a loser. And then he repeat that 3 times. And they said, Man ya Rasulullah, who is that person? قَالَ مَنْ أَدْرَكَ أَبَوَيْهِ, a person who was given the opportunity to witness his parents or one of his parents, and then the cause for that individual to enter paradise. So if Allah gave you the opportunity to witness your parents, and you did not enter paradise because of them, you consider to be loser according to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. In a hadith of Sunan Tirmidhi, a man came to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and he was all panicking and concerned. He was worried about what he did. And he said, what happened? He said, Ya Rasulullah, I committed a major sin. He said, what did you do? He said, I committed a major sin. He said, do you have a mother? He said, no, Ya Rasulullah. He said, alaka khala. And he said, yes. He said, then be kind to her. Be kind, not to your mother, but to your khala, to your aunt. Why? That is the only way this sin can be removed. The brothers asked me not to talk too much about the issue of the parents, and because the time is very short. But ikhwati fillah, if the parents wants to establish a relationship with the child, which they should, then the following steps should be taken from the parents. And inshallah, I will list this, then I will list the steps that the child must take to be able to close that gap. But I would like to give you an introduction to why we are like this. See, your parents and my parents, or at least the parents who are here, who came from back homes, they were raised in a certain way. They have a certain expectation. They want their child to behave a certain way towards them. But that is not in place because the child is completely raised in a different environment. So the expectation is no longer there. But at the same time, and this is the fault of the parents, they fail to understand that this communication, the old-fashioned communication, is not fulfilling the need of this relationship. Therefore, the parents have to learn how to adapt to the new situation, new environment, and they have to learn how to cope up with the society that we're living in and the upbringing of this child to close the gap between my child and myself. Now, if the parents do the following, I think that can be eliminated to some extent. First thing that we fail to do as a parent are listening to them. We don't listen. I mean, the child wants to talk because he sees these TV shows, and mashallah, you have cable at home, have all the channels, and now when the child tries to implement what he learned from the TV, you show him no space for that attitude. Well, we have to listen to them. Because really they have a lot to say, and we can learn a lot. I mean, my parents, Allah yarhamhuma, and any child was raised back home, he just can't come to his parents and say, Dad, listen, I have a problem. Can I talk to you? No, that was not the case. You don't talk to your father like this back home. Sometimes to only see your father is when you're in so much trouble. Your mother can't handle you, so she calls the 911, that is your father, and he comes home, he comes home, and you know when your father calls you, you just, you're ready for a whip. I mean, there is no talk, what happened, how did that happen, what did you do? No such thing. You know you're going to be lashed. So you get ready for that. But here, you need to talk. And we need to listen. So the child have to learn, the parents have to learn how to communicate with their children. But at the same time, we make a mistake here. We wait until we have no control over the child. He's either talking to his friend over the phone, or he's talking to his classmate, or he's dealing with other people, or maybe he's going behind them and going to the imams and talking to their problem. And then we said, okay, let us talk. I'm your father. You got to talk to me first. And there is no connection because the child cannot relate to their parents. The other thing that the parents have to learn is when they listen, what did you do? Well, we were, watching a movie, and I took my friend's vehicle, and I got into accident. Oh my God, the father, he loses it. He loses it. And he said, you're an idiot. How many times I told you, don't drive it. And then they admonish the child so much that the child decided, listen, oh, that was a mistake. I'm not going to come back to this conversation or come to talk to this man ever again. Rather, the father or the mother, this is what happened. This is the best nasiha. Or the child said, this is an issue that I have. How to deal with it. And instead of admonishing that child, calling him a name, they should listen to the child. The third thing that the parents should do, allow the child to make mistakes. And I'm not talking about a little kid, 2 years, 3 years old. I'm talking about the older youth. Allow them to express their feelings. Allow them to learn as they go. It's a mistake that we expect them to behave exactly the same way we're behaving today. I mean, we are 30 years ahead of them. We have 30 years experience, but at the same time we expect them to behave exactly the way we're behaving. Listen, you should talk to the people the way I talk to them. You were not born like this. You learn through time. So you have to allow the child also to make mistakes and learn from his mistake. I always say to the people, if you make a mistake and you learn from it, that is not a mistake. That is a lesson that you learn. But if you make a mistake and you repeat the mistake, then you fool. You can't do the same thing twice and say, well, that was another mistake. Yeah, sure, that was another mistake. Come on, tell me that. The other thing, number 4, don't ever compare your child to someone else. You know what they said? Allah hoge, o khair ka miyad arag, you know. Or they say, oh, what's wrong with you? Don't you see your peers? You know what they're doing? Oh my God, he finished his school. Oh my God, he has a job. And what do? You're still doing grade 12. You know, you're a failure. You know, look at Khairka, where are they? They're getting married. And what do? You live with me. You know. The child, you can't compare him to someone else because he has a different ability. Maybe he's not good at school. He's good at something else that child is not good at it. So you comparing him to another child, you know, you are not helping him, but rather you're destroying his self-esteem. You're destroying him. You don't do this, but you allow the child to say, okay, alhamdulillah, that he has a different ability. Now, let us see what you learn. You know, when they teach us child psychology, when we were at the university and we were learning child psychology, they tell you that most of the kids, based on how the fuqaha of the kuffar, they say between 14, 16 to 40 years to certain people, they're still searching of who they are. They don't know who they are. Some of the people, in the first 2 years, they're able to establish, I'm this person. By the age of 18, he's a mature person, and you can trust him. And some of the kids, some of the people who are over 25, you tell them, go get me a milk from the convenience store, he comes back with candies. They can't, you know, they're not the same. So you comparing that child to someone else, it is a mistake. Now, number 6 or number 5, and I think I mentioned this in advance, you train the child from how old? From when he is 3, 4 years old. Okay, let me see if you can keep a pen. Give him a pen and say, if you keep this pen for a week, a whole week, and you're responsible of this pen for a week, I'm going to reward you. I'm going to reward you. Now, what is this kid going to do? You already said, you keep this pen for a week, you got a treat. Now, that kid, he's going to put his life on the line just for the sake of that pen. You know, no matter what you do, I tried with that with one of my daughters. Man, she sleeps with the pen, I'm telling you. And she hides the pen, and then I came up with the new rules because, hey, listen, I gave her a month and I said, the ink has to finish, you know. And then she writes a letter to each one of the house. Daddy, you're the best. Daddy, I love you. Daddy, don't be hard on me. Daddy, I want to buy this. I said, give me the pen. I want the pen. I don't want you to write me anymore, you know. Because she's keep writing letters and letters and letters to every single person of the house because she has to finish the ink, you know. You teach them, so you're responsible. When you finish, this is your treat, and wallahi, they work. But if when your child is 17, 18 years old, listen, this is the key of the vehicle, you better bring it back, no scratch, you know. Make sure no scratch. I haven't paid for it yet. No, you teach them the responsibility in early age. Also, the parents have to be very honest, but at the same time, very sensitive with the child. Okay, there's a mistake, you want to correct the mistake. You don't want the child to learn in a hard way. You don't say, son, you know, I smell cigarette, but probably it's not a cigarette. It's more like unsi, you know. It smells something different, you know. No, you tell him after you smack him, it's a cigarette, you know. No smacking part here. You know, we're trying to be westernized right here. That was all Sa'id, you know. What do you say? You tell him, son, cigarette is not right. You tell him, this is what you should do about this. This is the benefit and the harm of it. Yeah, you may look cool when you're smoking cigarette in front of your brothers, but you know, look at your teeth, you know. They look like a yellow cat. You tell them a few things and then say, listen, this is health hazard, you're not allowed to do this. So without putting him down, you correct him. Number 7, you always give your child that regardless, give him the comfort that regardless what he does, I'll be there for you, son. I'll be there for you. You're my son, I love you. I'll be there for you. And when the child knows, when all the doors are closed in front of my face, when no one wants to talk to me, when no one's willing to listen to me, I know where to go. I'm going back to my parents. I'm going to talk to my father. I'm going to take him for a coffee and say, Dad, this is the issue that I'm dealing with. The girls, they have problems, The little girl should learn, Mom, I have a problem. Let us talk. The last one comes to the parent side. You have to be in their shoes. Again, wallahi, if we just learn, be in the shoes of your son. See how everyone else is looking at him. We lived in a society, we were raised in a community. If I do a mistake, my father or my parents will not admonish me or whip me on the street. No, the whole neighborhood, mashallah, they will volunteer. Wallah al-azim, you make a mistake, the first person comes to you, he smacks you first, and then he holds you by the ears, and he takes you to your father, and your father, without knowing the problem, when he sees you, someone bringing you, mashallah, he's ready, What did I do? He's not going to say, what did my son do? No, he said, but some of the people brought him in, probably he did something wrong, and then when he lashed me, then he said, what did you do? See, the whole community raised us. We're here is completely different. So you have to understand, if you harsh on your child, he's going to go to his friend and he says, man, I can slam my mother, I can slam the door in front of my mother. I can talk back to them. I can do this. And then the child says, listen, I can't do any of that. Why not? So you got to understand where they're coming from. Now also, this is the part that the youth have to do. The first thing that the youth have to do, he has to understand, no matter what you do, no matter how big you get, no matter how knowledgeable you become, you still to them that little kid that they used to change his diapers. You have to understand the mentality of the parents. You still to them a little baby. They can still raise their voice when they're talking to you. They can still talk loud. When I go home, like when I go back home, I talk to my brothers, or they don't just say, oh, this is Imam Sa'id. Brother, sit down. No. Give me the shoe. Go get me tea. I said, I want to go back to Canada. I was treated better in Canada. I want to go back there. They still see me as a little kid. And that's how do you understand. You can't say, whoa. But at the same time, they have rahmah for you. They get concerned about you. They cry for you. They are afraid that you make a mistake. Maybe you are, alhamdulillah, your father, or your father-to-be, or husband-to-be, wife-to-be, or mother-to be. But they still think you don't know what's best for you. You don't know. You can't come to the conclusion, this is my life, I'm going to run it. So you have to understand from where they're coming from also. The second thing is, you have to understand your parents, they have complete different taqaleed, different culture than yours. For example, my parents, rahimahumullah, if a guest come over, you know what they used to do? They won't even bother asking us, They will come, my mother will come, she would take the busta, the cover over from us, and she said, get up, get up. Why? Because we have some guests over. So I have to come down from the bed, and someone's going to sleep there. Do that to one of your kids nowadays. He's going to call 911. There's a child abuse here. Wallahi, they say, well, this is my property, this is my right. Some of the kids, they have it there, stop, do not enter. Put that in my house. I'll show you what Allah, you'll be flying from the window. But not every parent should do this. However, the background is completely different. You're about to eat, someone knocks the door, you get up, allow them to sit, and they eat your food. They just enjoy your food. And you sit there and you watch them, and after they finish, you get them water so they can wash their hands with it. Wallahi. And now, if you say get up, the first thing that your child will do, he will pick up his plate, he will walk away with it. Wallahi, if we do this, next thing is a ship cup, shoe, a flying shoe. But we can't do that anymore. The third thing is, as a child, if Allah bless you with some knowledge of this deen, and your parents are not on the same level yet, you got to teach them. But you have to be very smart how to teach them. You don't come back and you say, oh, mom, dad, the Imam just said that the Prophet ﷺ used to take shower with his wife. Why don't you guys get on? I never see you taking shower together. What's wrong with you? You don't like the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ? And the old lady, Allah hoga ye maxay soo bareen. Oh my God! Oh my God! What are they teaching my children? What are they? And you say, Subhanallah, what did they do? What did they do? I'm just telling you. I taught you Sunnah, and it's like wadada samada. Like these guys who call themselves wadada. Oh, don't be close to them. You don't know what under Islam and the old ladies. Allahu Akbar. CNN. Allahu Akbar. That the rumors goes from there. And the next thing that you know is all the kids are banned to come to your center. What happened? Don't you know what they're teaching the children? And then Ambara goes to Awali, and Awali goes to, oh my God, it's completely a mess. It's a mess. So you gotta learn how to talk to your parents. Wallahi, if you make a mistake, khalas. And they will never translate. They'll say, see those guys with the big beard? Stay away from them. They don't teach good things. So, you don't talk to your parents about taking shower together. Oh, I never see your dad. I never see you bringing a flower to my mother. How come there's no kissing in the house? What is this? Soap opera? Is this? This is your old mother and father. They don't even know what kiss is. Subhanallah. They don't know. And you want to talk to them about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he walks the house, he used miswak. Dad, guess what would he use miswak? Probably there was something happened. No. Next thing is the shoe system. طيب. Also, ya ikhwati fillah, there is a huge problem. And this problem is with some of the kids. And they have to learn, the children, especially those children, and these children, they don't know that we as a parent, or their parents, some of them, subhanallah, they are single mothers. They work day and night. You go to school, you play, you have fun, you come back, maybe she works a part-time, she comes home, she serves you, the food is ready, the house is clean, everything is taken care of. You don't appreciate that. Some of the mothers, subhanallah, she's so concerned because the old man, mashallah, is giving the news what happened to Rageah and Burhani, Thiyab and Hamar, and he's telling you, he's sitting at Tim Hortons where the mothers is dragging children to Quranic school every single day. You don't, and then the child, when he grows up, what does he say? Oh, I hate you. Guess what? I hate you too. Wallahi, if that was my kid, I'll tell him, listen, I have a news for you, son. I hate you too. And you're just starting hating me? I have been hating you for the past 16 years. One lie, they eat our food. They live under our roofs. They drink our water. They use our utilities. And they have the audacity to come and say, I hate you. I hate you too. Boy, you don't know how much I hate you. I really, really hate you. Do you know, if I ever come to my mother and my parents and say, I hate you, Allahu Akbar. There's a system called sugared, sugared fingers. Do you know that terminology? Boy, you're spoiled. Sugar fingers is when your parents they called you, and they say, son, say, yeah. Turn to a side, and you turn to another side, and they put their hands on your head, and they kiss you their hand, and they give you mwah! And then you hear a ring between your ears for 4 hours. For 4 hours. Yeah. This instruction should be applied in a certain way. If you want a full effect, when you're using a sugar fingers, especially for the boys, give them a haircut first, so it can sting very well. That's number one. Number two, you have, if you're black, you call it brown sugar fingers. If you're white, it's white sugar fingers. If you're a female, soft sugar finger. If you're a man, hard sugar fingers. When you hit it, you say, I love you, son. You let him know that you love him. When you hit him and he understands who's the boss, you see, from day one until they're 2 years old, what do we teach our children? Get up, walk. Oh, mashallah, he says, Baba, he says, Mom. For the rest of their life, what do you tell them? Shut up and sit down. That's what we tell them. Shut up, be quiet, and sit down. Because soon they pass 2 years old, they're running around the house. They're doing tawaf in the kitchen and everywhere, and you tell them, be quiet and sit down. And then they come to you. And what do they tell you? It is not fair. It is not fair. Yes, it's not fair for me having you. That's what's not fair. Every other father has a decent son, but I have to have you. Did anyone ask me? No. I have to deal with you. It's not fair. I'll tell you what is not fair. It's not fair. Me waking up every single morning looking at this face. Wallah al-Adim, some of the kids, you can't tell them. He's like, did I get him from the hospital or from the zoo? Was it from the zoo or the hospital? You can't tell. Is it a gorilla or a cow or, And, you should listen. And not because the way Allah created it. It's because he has funny haircut. Sometimes they have afro that they don't wash. MashaAllah. And their room is in a mess 24/7. What is not fair is a parent having such a child. And then they come and they say, I don't want to live here. I want to move out. I'll help you, son. Well, I will help you. Tell me the closest subway, I'll drop you there. Where you want to go? One-way ticket to hell? I'll give you that. I'll buy you the ticket. You want to go explore the city and the country? Fine, do it. And they tell you, I hate you, and they still eating my food. This is not fair, I'm still living under my roof. These kids have to learn how to respect. They have to learn how to respect their parents. And live the life of a Muslim. Now, as a mu'min, as a young man, or young lady, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you with the parents, who are willing to support you, keep you under a warm, kind roof, food on the table, you should appreciate. You should appreciate. You really should appreciate. I mean, mothers, subhanallah, you see them dragging 5 kids to the Quranic school, and then when he reached 17, he's fighting back. That is a waste of energy and time. I want to say something before we start to the second part of the lecture. And this, I want to read a poem. Not that, I don't write poems, and it's not mine. But the poem is this. In Arabic he says, أغرى امرؤ غلاما جاهلا. A person fooled a child or a young man who's an ignorant. بنقوده كيما ينال به الضرر. He seduced him with his wealth, his properties, his status, so he can put hardship on this kid. قال ائتني بفؤاد أمك يا فتى. He said to the kid, bring me the heart of your mother, or young boy. وَلَكَ الْجَوَاهِرُ وَالدَّرَاهِمُ وَالدُّرَرُ. And in return, I'll give you anything that you wish. Cars, money, status, I'll give you anything. فَمَضَى وَأَخْمَدَ خِنْجَرًا فِي صَدْرِهَا. He went back to the house and he put a dagger on his mother's heart. And this dagger is symbolic, ya ikhwati fillah. It's a statement that you say to your mother. It works like a dagger in the heart of the mother. And you place that dagger in her heart. And you think you did not do anything. قال والقلب أخرجه وعاد على الأثر. And he took the heart of his mother, because every time you leave the house, you're taking a piece of your mother, you take a piece of your father. And he went back, he said to that person, لكنه من فرط سرعته هوى. Is it because he was rushing, he fell. And then فتدحرج القلب المنقطع إذ عثر. And when he hit the ground, the heart, he released the heart, and then the heart started rolling. ناداه قلب الأم وهو معفر. And then the heart of the mother spoke to the son, while the heart is covered with dust and mud. ولدي حبيب هل أصابك من ضرر. Oh my beloved son, are you hurt? Oh my beloved son, are you hurt? فكان هذا الصوت رغم حنوه. He said, this gentle voice that came out of the heart, غضب السماء, as though it caused the heavens to be angry at that child. فَارْتَدَّ نَحْوَ الْقَلْبِ يُغَسِّلْهُ بِمَاءٍ. And then the child, his heart was open. Allah allowed the heart to be open. And then he took the heart of his mother and they started washing with water. And he took the dagger and he wants to kill himself because of the magnitude of what he did. طَعْنًا فَيُبْقِي عِبْرَةً لِمَنْ اعْتَبَرَ. He wants to hurt himself like he hurt his mother, so it can be a lesson to the generations to come. وَاسْتَلَّ خَنْجَرٍ. And then وَيَقُولُ يَا قَلْبِ انْتَقِمْ مِنِّي. And he's talking to the heart and he say, take your revenge. And he said, I commit a sin that will never be forgiven. نَادَاهُ قَلْبِ الْأُمِّ. And then that heart spoke to the child once again. And he said, كَفَّ يَدًا وَلَا تَذْبَحْ. He said, hold your hand and do not kill my heart twice. Do not kill me twice by hurting yourself. You hurt your parents so many times, but at the moment that you get hurt, they forget everything. And they're concerned about you and your well-being. Now, ikhwati fillah, this is a part that comes from the parents, and now we will talk about the children and their problem. Mom, Dad, let us talk. Now let us talk. What are the things, what are the things that you have in your mind and you will never tell your parents? Not because you don't want to tell them, but because you are afraid of their reaction. What is it, guys? Oh, come on, don't lie to me. What is it? The first in the list, the opposite gender. Right? Come on, guys, liars. I know you guys, That's the first thing. It's like, whether you're in love with someone, or you're in love with a person that doesn't exist, you just in love, the love is in the air, it's spraying, and mashallah, you're floating around and you don't know who you're in love with, but you're flying around. That is something that every youth, it's true. Why? Because when you reach a certain age, sometimes it becomes a seasonal. Wallahi, it's a seasonal. You don't know, but your heart is you're absent-minded. You talk to this young man and he's not there. The teacher is explaining and his mind is absent. What happened to him? He's thinking about someone that doesn't exist most of the time. Now, you want to tell your parent and say, listen, I have a crush on someone. I haven't figured that out yet. I don't know who the person is, but I love someone. Can you tell me, what is this pain that I have in my heart? How should I counter this? What should I do? You can't. Because if you talk to your mother, what will she say? Sugared fingers. That's the first thing. Oh my God, what is she saying? What a shameful thing. Feel ashamed, don't talk about these things. Right? It's true. And the parents are like, oh man, and he says, why did I have to talk to her anyway? She won't understand. Why do you have to talk to her? You want to talk to, and the problem is when you find someone, you want to find and you want to marry, or you find someone, to talk to your parents is the most difficult thing. So we are afraid to talk to them because they may not listen. Other issue, the thing that can only happen between husband and wife. What is it? What do we know about it? You're willing to go and learn from outside, but your parents were not willing to teach you. They don't want to talk to you about that. They don't want to talk about anything that relates to jinns. Why? Because in our culture, is no. You don't. In your mind, the only thing that even is like, my parents can never talk to me about this. I better go and find someone and ask, or go into the internet. But if the parents allow you to talk to them, you will say, what should I do? How should I counter this problem? And you can go over this problem easily. Bad friend or bad companions, whether it's classmate or the person that you know or from your neighbor. Your parents, sometimes they play deaf, dumb, and blind. We play this. We can't see, we can't hear, and we don't know, and we don't want to know. You know your child is with a bad person. A person who will teach him things that you should have teaching your child. You should have taught him already. But you want to play innocent. Oh, mashallah. Oh, no. Ma'ambaro, mashallah. She does not know anything. No. My daughter doesn't know these things. Oh, the other girls. I know it's bad girls. And we do the same thing with the boys. My son, mashallah, he doesn't do anything bad. You know how many fathers he says, my son, he listens, mashallah. He is very obedient, mashallah. He doesn't leave the house, mashallah. But they lock him up. Why is he in jail? Is he the angel? Why is he behind bars? He said, they were bad kids. They went to the store, and the other, not my son, the other kid, he stole something. And then the shopkeeper, he said, they were both of them involved in this, robbery. Therefore, he is there. We don't want to admit the truth. You don't want to admit your son is crackhead. You know. You don't want to admit that he's a loser. You don't want he's a thief. But not your kid. Your neighbor's kid, yes. But not your kid. And we want to play. My daughter, she doesn't talk. No. She doesn't know. Allah, no. She doesn't even know in the mother. She doesn't know anything about boys. And she can write novels about boys, I'm telling you. But the parents is like, not my daughter. No. SubhanAllah. We don't want to, as the parents, admit the truth. These kids, they have problems. These kids, 70% of the youth, we call it minors, are Muslims. All of them angels according to their fathers, to their parents. But it was a mistake that all of them, 70% inmates there, are there by mistake. Yeah, call me when you get the right figures. Also, some of the parents, they can smell that the son has been smoking. Or they can smell that he's been drinking. And you say, Abu, Karin to Kenya, let us pray. The boy is high. What are you going to call him for salah for? Let us pray. And he's like, some of the parents, they don't want to admit that their son or his son who's praying next to him, he's in a different world. One of the fathers like, my son was praying with me, and he was like, do you finish that? Did you finish your prayer? He's praying with him, and he's telling him, are you finished? And then when he finished the salah, and he keeps saying, Salaam alaikum, Salaam alaikum, Salaam alaikum, Salaam alaikum. I said to the brother, what do you think is wrong with your son? Oh, probably he stayed late. He was up for a very long time. He was very tired. He was tired, mashallah. Alhamdulillah. And he says salam arba'a marrat 4 times to sleep. Yes. And did you smell anything? Oh yeah, he smelled a little bit, but probably he was riding with someone else. His son is perfect. He doesn't want to admit that his son is drinking or is dealing with drugs. And until we come to the conclusion and we grab that son and we say you're doing something wrong, we will not solve the problem. Also, ikhwati fillah, the problem that happens at school, we don't like talking about. Your daughter or your son is going to school where every other boy or other girl has a boyfriend or girlfriend. And you want to say, Rageah, it's ilali, oh boy, be strong, Girl, mashallah, the sisters, what they do, some of them, and I know the sisters, they know this. They know some sisters. They come home, they leave home with hijab, and they come home with hijab. But in between, miniskirts, mashallah, It's true. When she goes to the school, Allahu Akbar, the hijab is gone. When she leaves the school, the hijab is there, and mashallah, she behaves like a little angel, and she has a little dua book, mashallah, every time she's leaving the house, and what are you reading? Allah, dua of leaving the house and coming back to the house. Yeah, right, You probably have a phone number between the hadith lines. That's what you have, This is Jack, this is, subhanallah. So we have to learn how to deal with that problem. As a parent, go to the school. Drop in once in a while. But when you go to school, you don't also, embarrass your child. Even if you see him or her doing something wrong. Even if you see, brothers, your son is leaning on the wall, talking, sweet talking this little young girl. You don't give him a sugar finger out there. No. Save the sugar finger until you come home. Save that. And you tell him, but what are you doing, son? I'm giving her da'wah. Oh. And the father comes so he's like, do you know my son, Sheikh Saeed? Say what? MashaAllah. He goes and he gives da'wah everywhere, even to the girls. And I was like, and how does she look like? Oh, she was skinny, nice, alhamdulillah. I said, call me when your son is giving da'wah to 250 pounds girl. Then call me. When you see your son is giving da'wah to this obese sister sitting in there, and mashallah is studying a Bukhari and Muslim, call me. Now he's giving da'wah. But they are so particular, and they know. Wallahi, these guys, they know. Allah has given them that ability. They know which sister, her heart's open for Islam. The beautiful ones, of course. Any sister is not beautiful, she's not for Islam. When you see that, you don't react. No. But you talk, how are you? Alhamdulillah. How's your school? He's going to panic, she's going to panic, yeah. Some of the sisters, they take this nasiha and they went to the public school. And then she saw her daughter, no hijab, mashallah, no khimar, no nothing. She's wearing shorts. What does she do? Nakala here, the shoe start working. And then she started chasing her little girl in the school with the shoe. Oh my God. Would that help? No. That would not help. Leave it. Deal with the situation when you go home. Talk to them. So why did you do this? The reason she did this is because you're not listening. So they have to learn how to listen. Also, we have to acknowledge that when the kids are involved in a dangerous stuff, such as being a part of a gang, or they steal, or things like this, maybe you can't handle the situation by yourself. So don't say, I don't want to expose my sins. But go out, seek for help. Go out and look, maybe some people can help you. Go to advisors. Sit with the school counselor. Sit with the imams. Sit with someone your son or your daughter can listen to. And then you can solve the problem without exposing this. Also, inshallah, I know the time is very short, and I have a lot to finish, but I have to do this quick. The good things that the young people, most of the time, especially those beautiful kids, brothers and sisters, youth like yourselves, come to me or come to the imams and to talk about is the issue of marriage. I mean, it is unfair for the parents to say to their children, finish school first. You can't say that to your child. I mean, if you have a place, if your child is attending school, that the two genders are completely separated. Boys don't see girls, and girls don't see boys. I can tell you, okay, let us try. But when you see your son, he sits in his class, and the person who's sitting, subhanallah, she's almost naked. And he turns, astaghfirullah, this side, she's almost naked. This side, he's almost naked. What do you want him to do? Look at the ceiling? That's how he listens to class? No. He can't be focusing on the ceiling. So, if you want your child, if you know your child, your daughter, your son, they reach that level, Bismillah. Grab a child. Grab another son or another child from your friend, from your neighbor, say, listen, let us work this out. Let us marry, allow my son to marry your daughter, or I want my daughter to marry your son, and let us talk about, let us organize, let us have a system to follow. And of course, you have to follow and do the right things, the right etiquette. It's not like you're getting a wife from Norfolk. It's not like this. You're not getting a wife from Safeway. So you go through proper channels and you say, this is what I need to do. And imagine as a father, as a parent, having one more person in your household. How much that would cost you? Extra $50 a month? Extra $100 for the safety of your child. I mean, it's unfair. Unfair. One of the shaykh used to say, Ya akhi, say, you can't leave meat. You cannot leave meat in front of the cat and then blame the cat because it ate the meat. You can't. Oh, you cat, you bad cat, you ate that meat. You know, that wasn't for you. You know, you can't. So what do? We're living in a society that there's a lot of problems. How to solve it? Get the kids, get them married. Get them married. And that is the most difficult thing for a son, or especially for daughters, to come up to their mother, to their father, and say, I'm ready for marriage. And mothers, fear Allah on your daughters. Raise them like a righteous wives. Raise them. Raise them as a responsible wives. You don't want to raise, you don't want to, when your daughter is 17, 18, and she's ready for marriage. And she said, I'm ready for marriage. Okay, what do you have? Do you know how to make tea? No, Team Horse is available. I'll get you Steve tea. You know. Do you know how to cook? No, Pizza Hut. You did not marry another brother. You know, you marry a wife, right? If you were looking for a roommate, you would say, Ya Ali, come on, let us live together. You know, or move in. But you want a wife. So what do? A sister has to know what to do. What to do. She has to know what to do. She has to know how to prepare a meal. Wallahi, the brother comes to my masjid and his eyes are red. I said, what happened? You have a fight with your wife? He's saying, no, she's not that strong. I said, what is the problem there? He said, brother, she cooks. I said, so? She said, when she cooks, I'm out for 3 days in the hospital. I said, what do you mean she cooks? She cooks human food, right? He said, brother, don't ask me. She just cooks. And if I don't eat, I get in trouble. And if I eat, I'm out for 3 days. And I said, what did she cook you today? He said, I couldn't taste anything. It was so hot. The sisters, miserably, except a few of them are failing to be a righteous wife. And this is maybe what some of the speakers spoke about. But you have to cover that. The mothers have to teach their children how to be a mother, how to be a wife. Some of the mothers like, no, do your school. And the brother's like, brother, I did not marry a book, I married a wife. I can't find anything. She knows everything about computers, she knows everything about internet, she knows math, she knows science, but she doesn't know how to make a sandwich. And the brothers, oh my God. Brothers, boy and boy. Okay, brothers, when you say you want to get married, you should first stand in front of the mirror. Really. If you see a goat in the mirror, you're not ready. You know. If you see a goat right there, chewing something, you're not ready for marriage. But if you see a man who is responsible, then alhamdulillah, you're ready. Wallahi, some of the brothers, they have no sense of responsibility. None. Say, yo, what's up, yo? I say, Assalamu alaikum, assalam, yo. I said, what's up? He said, boy, I found this sister. She was so fine. Man, the leaves were on the floor. I said, what happened? Hurricane? You know, zilzal? What happened? She said, boy, she was so fine. She was hot. I said, I don't care whether she's hot, warm, cold, if she's a decent sister. He said, woof, well, she smells nice. I said, brother, what are you looking for? A wife? Or someone that smells nice only? He said, oh, everything, bro, everything. I said, okay, tell me the quality of a wife that you're looking for. What's wrong with your lips, guys? Why do you have to lick your lips 24/7? I can understand without licking your lips. You're not, what did that guy go? Cool, LL Cool J? You're not LL Cool J, bros, You're not, Just relax and talk to me, Wallahi, it's like maybe next time he's going to chew his lips, and then the brother, we have to take him to 911. We have to take him to the emergency. He said, I give you a nasiha. Don't ever be an imam. If you become an imam, you will witness things that you never imagined. I said, brother, what do you want? It's like, I said, what is that? He said, 36. I was like, what? What? Is that the beginning of her phone number? What are you giving me? 36. I was like, what is that? He said, you don't know, Sheikh? I said, Wallahi, I don't know, ya akhi. Those 4 digits, those 6 digits total, I don't know what, the numbers that I have are 7 digits. What is this? Phone number, area code, what is it? Zip code, talk to me, bro. He's like, no, that is the size of the sister. And said, so you want me to go and say, sister, I have a brother for you? Wait a second, let me measure you first. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Billahi alayk. He's not asking about her deen. He's not asking about where she's from. The brother's concerned about numbers. I said, brother, that's your homework. You do that at home, inshallah. After the nikah, you do that at home. You don't have to tell me the numbers, but I don't want to know. Now, you got to be responsible. Brothers, number one, if I'm a father, and I am a father, I want to know this boy who's come to my house and propose to my daughter, is he a responsible person? If he's not, some of the brothers, they far away from responsibility. I think the only responsibility that this kid has is keeping his pants up. Those pants that, after they're, and wherever he goes, he's holding them up. I say, yeah, are you wearing a dir'a or pants? Dir'a is a female dress. You always see women holding them like this. If you're wearing a dir'a, I cannot marry my daughter. What are you doing? That's the only responsibility. He has no job. I say, how are you going to feed your wife? He said, no, oh my God, Sheikh, you did not ask that question. Oh my God, I had more respect for you. Yeah, Sheikh, Allah will bring. I said, do you see that road? Yeah, sit right there, Allah will bring a wife for you. Wait right there. Don't move. A wife will come to you. That is not how it happens. If you want a wife, you have to be able to support her. If you don't have a supporting, understanding parents, you have to take the responsibility. Other brother right here in Toronto. He said, Sheikh, I found a sister. I say, find a sister? She was lost? You know, what do you mean? He said, no, Sheikh, I found a sister. And I said, where? You know, he said, she's in a shelter. I said, Allahu Akbar. Now in my mind I'm thinking, the brother is good, he has a job, he's going to save the sister. I said, where do you live? He said, I live right next to her. So both of you living in a shelter. Yeah. You live in a shelter and you want to get married. Yes. You have no house, home. No. You have no job. No. You have nothing. No, I don't. Billahi alaykum. What would you do? Well, in America the case was different. In America, especially African American, they were rough and mean, and if such a person comes to me, I would just say, Muhammad, and they would take that kid for a walk. You guys know walks? Have you ever taken a walk? No. Now walk, let me introduce walk to you, brothers. Walk is when someone takes you for a walk, and only one of you comes back, you know. One of you comes back, and most likely it won't be you. It won't be you. So they will take them for a walk, and they will shift their faces little bit, not too much, and they will bring them back. They will drag them back. You know. But here you have to deal with what minimum that you have, which is, alhamdulillah, brother, since this situation I can't marry the sister. Be responsible first. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, Ya ma'ashar al-shabab, all young people, Man istata'a minkum al-ba'ata falyatazawwaj. He said, if you're capable and you're able to marry, do so. I mean, you can handle a wife. Sisters are funny. Are very funny. And I'm not saying laughing funny. No, they are funny. I'm serious. You know, if you don't know, listen, marriage is an art. Marriage is an art. If you don't know how to deal with wife, you're going to be wifeless. What happens is this, you come out of the house, everything is sweet and beautiful, and you come back to the house, my God, she's upset. What did you do? You don't know. You don't know yet. Asking her what's wrong is another mistake. So what do? You have to think smart. And men are not smart. When it comes to these things, we are not smart. I can say this and get away. We're not smart. You come home and you look around. And you're thinking, what did I do wrong? You know, she was fine, she was sweet, everything was fine when I left for Salah. I came back, things are not the same. What did I do wrong? You think you can't come up with anything, which is another mistake. You know, you have to blame yourself and say, I'm sorry, wallahi, that I didn't mean to do it. You don't know what you did, but you have to apologize first. You know, put that on the table first. Oh, I'm really sorry. Wallahi, that was a mistake. What did I do? You know, what did I do? You know, you don't know, but submit first. You know, submit. And then she looks up, and you know there's no dinner that night. If she looks up, brothers, call Pizza Hut. I'm telling you, there's no food. And then you discover at the end of the day that she moved little thing, and you didn't notice when you walked in. You should have said, wow, you did it all by yourself? Whew. If I had to do it, I have to call the brothers from the masjid. You know? Seriously. So if the brothers doesn't know how to deal with wife, he would be in trouble day and night. And every time you try to defend yourself, you're standing on quicksand. You would be sinking going down, down until you get drowned. Now, you as a brothers, first, and this is where the fathers come in. Where the fathers come in. The father who have experience, we can kindly ask the sisters to be quiet. The fathers should play the role model, displaying how to deal with a wife. So he should give all the hands to his son. And he says, son, you're getting married. It's like you're going for jihad. You know, if you have no weapons, you're going to get killed. You know, what do? You do 1, 2, 3, 4. When your wife is upset, you do this and you get out of the house. It's a technique you may use. Wives should teach, should manifest, display this, so the daughter would see when her husband approaches and he's upset or he's tired or he's mad, how to deal with it. طيب. We will stop because we only have 9 minutes, but we'll finish this 9 minutes. The other thing is, the parents have to prepare the children, the mashakil, the problem that will come after marriage, and the children should be able to talk to the parents about this. Now, inshallah, because of the time limit, the brother asked me to stop, and inshallah we would stop here, but we would answer some of the questions, inshallah. The question is, she's saying, I'm a single mother with 3 children, and the problem is basically one of her daughters, because of the mother who was working, she went stray. And the sister wants to raise her children in an Islamic environment. You know, nutshell of this question. Most of the people, they ask question when it's too late. They come to the imams and they tell the imams all the problems, expecting that the imam would have a magic stick and he will say, where is she? Where is she? And he will go to the little girl and bang on the head. MashaAllah, she's Aisha bint Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. That will not happen. So what do? You have to raise your child Islamically before she reaches the age of puberty. Before she reaches the age that she understands, oh, this is right, this is wrong, you have to raise them Islamically. Before she understands something called the opposite gender, you have to educate her Islamically. But when it's too late, it is very difficult to control that. However, never ever give up and never ever lose hope in the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with a sincere dua, can return those individuals to Islam once again. She says, should a parents let their children listen to music of any type? And is music in general haram? Music, there's a difference between singing and music. Music in general is haram. Music, all kind of music. That you use the instrument, piano, guitar, bass, all this, it is haram, haram, haram. However, if there's a nasheed, Islamic nasheed, that is permissible. So a person can listen to Islamic nasheed, but the children should not listen to music. And I will tell you, especially these young children, when you play music in your house, in reality, you are inviting shaitan to your house. You're inviting jinn to your house. And that's why you see, especially we treat the people who have jinn, So every time you go back, you will find that this person was committing a ma'asiyah. And one common thing that most of the people were committing, it was the ma'asiyah, the sin of listening to music. When you play music, all the shayateen are welcome to your house. It's like someone calling Allahu Akbar, and you see all the Muslims coming to the masjid because they hear the adhan. Likewise, when you play music in your house, all the shayateen around that area will come and listen to the music, because the music is the Quranic shaitan, or in the recitation of the shaitan. Therefore, it is not permitted. But some brothers and sisters are very smart. If the music is a Western music, it's haram. If it's Arabic music, it's halal. Wallahi. And some of them say, oh no, this is Somali music. What's the Hara Ahmadi? Now we know Naqana. We know this lady. You know, her music is not haram. Simply because they know that person, her music is not haram. That is not a reason. But all the music is haram. وجب علي الحج وعلي الدين هل وجب علي أن أحج قبل الدين لأنه لا أدري أن أعيش إلى الغد أعيش غدا أو أموت. The brother said, I owe some people some money, and the Hajj is here. Should I perform the Hajj or should I pay it? Or he said, I don't know if I'm going to make the next Hajj. We see the nature of this deen. If this deen is due right away, before the Hajj or at the time of Hajj, then you must pay it. You must pay it. But if the deen is not due, or is a monthly payment, and you can continue with that, or you have the ability to pay the debt monthly and go to Hajj, then you should go to Hajj. Or you can ask the permission of that the person who has the right of the deen, and say, would you allow me to pay it later, or give me an iqala? That is permissible. If your parents don't have a lot of Islamic knowledge, how much do you have to obey them? Now, this is a very tricky question. A lot of children dealing with the parents who don't know anything about Islam. The child, and this happened in the state, and it happened in China, and it happened so many times. The child is telling them, I have to get married. I don't want to commit a ma'asiyah. And the father says, what do you mean? I didn't commit a ma'asiyah. I married when I finished my school. You also have to finish your school. They don't understand that if the person is afraid that he may commit a zina, or she may commit a zina, it becomes a wajib upon that person to get married. They must get married. It is wajib, fard ayn, for the child to get married. And I asked Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen at that, and you will be amazed his fatwa when I asked him this. But if you can deal with your parents in a manner as we describe, that it is very easy for you, or very easy for them to accept, then you should teach them. You should teach them Islam. Allow them to learn step by step. Bring them up to the level of your understanding. Let them read about Islam. Don't say, oh my God, they don't know anything, therefore I'm going to marry whoever I want. And the little girl, she goes to the masjid, she said, my parents are ignorant, my father doesn't pray, therefore, ya Shaykh, perform the nikah. That is not how it should happen. You try to convince your parent, talk to them, and this is where all the problems. Talk to your parents, and inshallah you will be able to handle, they would be able to understand, inshallah. How does one instill respect of parents' authority in a child? That showing that no, but we say you have to love your child and care for your child. That love and caring also should not reach the level that they are spoiled. They have to understand the limit. And this is, again, being a husband is an art, and being a parent also is an art by itself. Your child have to learn, have to understand. Now, I'm not teaching you. Now, I'm playing with you. Now, I'm not playing with you. Now, I'm disciplining you. Now, I'm not disciplining you. Now, I am playing with you. He has to differentiate this. And your child should know. Your child should know. And if you do this, if the parents Islamically is equipped and they know how to talk to their children and they themselves are Islamically educated, wallahi, it is very simple how to control your child while your child is receiving all the love and affection that he or she needs. Alaykum as-salam. Please. Someone is asking me if I can repeat the 7 points that we mentioned earlier. I don't know which 7 points. Inshallah, probably he's talking about the earlier lecture. Inshallah, I'll give it to you that if when you come, because we mentioned 9 points here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I work night shift. And my shift ends at 2 a.m. in the morning. Therefore, I was wondering if I can pray Qiyam al-Layl at this time. If Qiyam al-Layl is any time between Salat al-Isha and the break of the dawn, so therefore you can pray any time, and just an hour before Fajr is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes down to Sama'i Dunya, coming fi Sahih Muslim, so you can pray inshallah. Jazakumullah khair, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. And Jazakumullah khair for all the time. And I apologize if I said anything wrong. Please forgive me, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive your sins. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.